Hello, everyone, and welcome to Immigration and Jobs Talk Show. I'm Sam, your host, and today me and Rajni are back again with another exciting episode of Daily Immigration Dose, streaming live at 4 p.m. EST. So, before diving into today's topic, let me read out this very important disclaimer. That is, by watching our videos, you understand that the information shared, including user comments, is not professional advice, so use it at your own risk. Our intention is never to offend, it's just a casual exchange of ideas. All right, so before moving ahead and diving deep into today's topic, let's have a look at some of the latest updates on immigration around the world. Firstly, Donald Trump's first picks for immigration policy jobs spent the last 4 years angling for this moment. Stephen Miller and Thomas Homan had critical roles in the first Trump administration and are unapologetic defenders of its policies, which included separating thousands of parents from their children at the border to deter illegal crossings. Secondly, after Trump's win, Indian Google's immigration and H 1B, Americans on ways to leave the US. To understand this topic very clearly, let's have a look at this video.
Donald Trump's victory, thousands of Americans are planning to pack their bags and move abroad. After Donald Trump's victory, thousands of Americans are planning to pack their bags and move abroad. Google search data shows U.S. citizens are actively researching how to move to Canada, New Zealand, and Australia. Among these people could be Hollywood celebrities like Sharon Stone, Cher, and Jimmy Kimmel, all of whom declared they would leave the country rather than live under a second Trump presidency. Our next report brings you more.
President elect Donald Trump's victory wasn't a happy ending for everyone after all. While some saw his re election as a personal win, others expressed fear about America's future and declared the Republicans' triumph a war on women.
All right, so this was the video that was posted by First Post. Moving ahead, the next topic, that is Prime Minister Justin Trudeau recently addressed the rationale behind Canada's new immigration cap, acknowledging past missteps in the immigration system and unveiling a plan to address ongoing challenges. In a 7-minute YouTube video, Trudeau reflected on how certain actors in the immigration system had exploited vulnerable individuals, creating significant issues in the country's immigration framework. Further details will be shared by my co host Rajni Barara.
Hi everyone, welcome to Immigration Daily Dose on Immigration and Jobs Talk Show. I am your host Rajni Bharara, and let's firstly talk about Trump's mass deportation plan. President-elect Donald Trump has reaffirmed his intention to declare a national emergency on border security and utilize the US military to carry out a mass deportation of undocumented migrants. This plan, announced on his social media platform, Truth Social, involves invoking emergency powers to expedite the deportation process, a move that has sparked intense debate and criticism for human rights advocates and legal experts. Next, use of military and national emergency. Trump's plan to use military assets for deportation has raised questions about the extent of his presidential authority. Legal experts argue that using the military for such purposes does not align with specific scenarios under which a national emergency can be declared. The Alien Enemies Act of 1798, which Trump has mentioned he might invoke, is particularly contentious as it was last used during World War II to intern Japanese Americans without due process. Moving next, let's talk about impact on undocumented immigrants. The proposed mass deportation is expected to affect millions of undocumented immigrants, with estimates suggesting around 11 to 13 million individuals could be impacted. This initiative is a part of Trump's border immigration crackdown, which includes ending parole programs for migrants from Cuba, Haiti, and Venezuela, and undoing policies that constrain deportation for those not deemed threats to public safety or national security. Now let's talk about first 100 days of Trump's administration. In his first 100 days, Trump plans to take several executive actions aimed to restricting immigration and ramping up deportation. This includes assessing which countries are most resident to repatriating their citizens and potentially threatening sanctions, such as restricting visas for certain categories of applicants. The Trump administration is also likely to end the Biden administration's humanitarian parole program for some residents of Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, and Venezuela. Now, let's move on to world immigration. Yes, we talked about the US immigration for now, but let's now move to what's happening all around the world in the field of immigration, starting with China. China has expanded its visa-free entry policy effective November 8, 2024 until December 31st, 2025. Citizens of Andorra, Denmark, Finland, Iceland, Monaco, Norway, Slovakia, and South Korea can enter China without a visa for stays up to 15 days for business, tourism, family visits, or transit. Philippines. The Philippine government has implemented an electronic visa e-visa system for Indian nationals and other visa required nationals with long-term residency in India effective October 28, 2024. This e-visa is for single or multiple entries, 6 months or 1 year, and is non-extendable and non-convertible to other visa types while in the Philippines. Now, let's move on to Canada. High wage stream changes. The minimum hourly wage for workers hired under the Temporary Foreign Worker Program, TFWP, high wage stream will increase by 20% from the current median wage level in the applicable province or territory effective November 8, 2024. Immigration level plans. Canada has announced its immigration level plans for 2025 to 2027, which includes a reduction in the cap on new international student permits to control the influx of temporary residents. Now, let's talk about humanitarian measures for Lebanese nationals. Canada introduced temporary immigration measures to assist Canadian citizens, permanent residents, and their immediate family members who have left Lebanon, as well as Lebanese nationals in Canada who cannot return home. Eligible individuals can apply for study permits, open work permits, or status extension at no cost. Now, let's move to United Arab Emirates. The UAE has extended the grace period for foreign nationals to rectify their residency status until December 31st, 2024. This allows individuals to either depart the country or obtain employment to change their residency status without incurring fines or facing entry bans. Now, let's move to United Kingdom. There is a current shortage of biometric appointment slots in the UK, particularly in high demand areas like London and Scotland. This has caused delays in processing applications, even for those who have paid for priority or super priority services. Now, let's move to what's happening in Australia. Australia has appointed VFS Global as its exclusive biometric collection service provider. VFS Global will handle biometric collection, identity verification, and assist with visa application submissions and payments. Now, let's move to France. France has increased its minimum wage by 2% effective November 1, 2024, which has also modified the thresholds for various immigration statutes, such as talent passport. Now, let's move to Saudi Arabia. The Council of Ministers has approved updates to the regulation of temporary work visas and seasonal work visas effective 180 days after approval. The updates include extending the stay period to 90 days with the possibility of a 90-day extension and stricter penalties for abuse of the system. Now let's talk a little bit about Ireland. Ireland is set to increase the minimum salaries for various employment permits, such as the General Employment Permit and the Critical Skills Employment Permit, effective January 25, 2025. Well, United States, we already have talked about. Now, let's talk about Thailand. Thailand has implemented an automated biometric identification system using facial recognition at six major international airports effective November 1st, 2024, to streamline passenger identification and reduce wait times. Last but not the least, let's talk about Nigeria. Nigeria has expanded its digital passport renewal service to Nigerian nationals residing in Canada with plans to extend their service to the UK, US, and Italy by November 15th, 2025. Well, that's it from the world of immigration. So, over to you, Sam.
Yeah, thank you so much, Rajni. And, I think it's very well explained to our viewers about all the information, all the news that's happening around the world. So I think that's a very good sneak peek. And, guys, before moving ahead with our topic, it's also a humble request, if you can also join us for today's seminar. It will be a great opportunity for you all to also express your point of view, to express your thoughts. So we welcome you all, and just not use this opportunity by commenting, but also get this opportunity by joining us. You can also share any feedback, any of your incident that you are suffering from, or any question you can ask. So please come ahead and feel free to join us. We will be happy to have you. Okay. So now today, as we are going to talk about industries booming in 2025 under Trump 2.0, job opportunities in the US for Indian immigrants. So as we all know that Trump's potential re-election and economic policies are going to reshape the landscape. So we are going to explore that how this might, open doors for Indian immigrants in the US. And also, Rajni, as there's a latest update that there are over 2.7 million Indian immigrants that are living in the US. And many of them, I mean, most of them are definitely employed in various sectors. So I
Right.
think, I think if we talk about the future of
Mhm.
US, under Trump's administration, then I don't think that it's something going to be bad or something going to deteriorate. I think the industry sector will definitely increase, but that will increase with some kind of restrictions, some kind of stricter rules, some kind of stricter policies that definitely Trump is going to implement, because he is into America first agenda. And
Mhm.
I think he will definitely prefer Americans first. But
Absolutely.
but if we talk about Indian immigrants also, then it's nothing to worry, because I think you will also get the opportunities. And there are so many opportunities, especially in sectors like manufacturing, technology, and I think STEMs. So there are also opportunities in IT, healthcare, and engineering too that could, still thrive due to ongoing labor shortages in specific fields. And if we talk about different industries like AI technology too, then I think it's very booming and it's very good, because now the AI and cybersecurity are really growing rapidly. So I think if we talk about opportunities for Indian immigrants, then there are many Indian professionals in the US who are already playing a key role in tech. So there are so many positions that may be available for software development, data science, then machine learning, and
Mhm.
AI engineering are definitely it is expected to expand. So yeah, I think that's quite brief information from my side. And
Mhm.
Rajni, what do you think? What how the industry will be?
No, absolutely, Sam. I think it is going to be better from starting, if not starting, then from the mid of 2025, it is, of course, going to get better under
Mhm.
Trump's administration and under Trump 2.0, because I think the US job market is expected to remain robust in 2025, because as it's already all over the news that with over 8 million job vacancies anticipated, yes, people are anticipating that there are going to be 8 million job vacancies. So yeah, I mean, there are a lot of immigrants who are waiting for the job opportunities to be out there so that they can apply and they can grab those opportunities. And this is driven by growth in various sectors, like you said, such as technology, healthcare, finance, and more. And according to recent reports, the US has issued over 1 million Indian visas and over 100,000 student visas in 2023.
Mhm.
It indicated a strong demand for skilled foreign workers. So if you already can see, if it has issued over 1 million Indian
Yeah.
visas and over 100,000 student visas, so people might complain and people might think that Trump is against immigrants. He's definitely against illegal immigrants, but people are, you know, making actually making it um,
Into a different level, taking it
yeah,
into a
I mean,
different level.
not entirely saying the truth,
Hmm.
but also it is like, they are creating a hoax over on in the news, that which is absolutely not true, right?
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
mean, they are calling, they are calling it that they are accusing Trump of being against immigrant, and if he was against immigrants, I don't think so he will be allowed. He would allow 1 million Indian visas, or even 100. I mean, okay, these were issued under Biden's administration, but I'm definitely sure that he's not against them. He's definitely, and his administration is definitely against the illegal immigrants, like how we say in our
Yeah.
every episode. But it is going to be beneficial. But people are creating a rumor, or like how we discussed in our last episode, that these days, after Trump has won, the news is going to be a clickbait news.
Yeah.
So, not everything is going to be true out there. So people will really have to be careful what to watch and what not to watch, because most of them is going to be a clickbait news. Everything that people might say, I mean, a lot of things, not everything, a lot of things that people might say will come out from rumors, will not be factual and will not be truth. So this is something that people will really have to be careful about. And so, like, we already have mentioned that there are and even me, that there are a couple of sectors which are going to definitely boom in the coming 2025 year. So let me start with technology. With you already know, Sam, even we are now habitual of AI, right? So,
Yeah.
and especially in the technology field, with advancements in AI and automation, tech hubs like Silicon Valley are seeing a surge in demand for software engineers, data scientists, and cybersecurity professionals. So I'm pretty sure it is going to boom in 2025. And then if you talk about healthcare, so healthcare is a sector which I think, whether a pandemic came, right, COVID came, but then it was still booming around that
Right.
time, right?
I
So
think, yeah, technology, healthcare, these two are the main sectors that doesn't matter what pandemic era it's going on. I think these two sectors are for sure definitely going to rise anyhow.
absolutely.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I think these
No,
two
absolutely.
sectors are very
We can still say that technology might sometimes here and there see a bad time.
important.
It will not definitely, but we can say, let's, just for an example, maybe we can think that maybe if the time is not correct, if the era is not fine, or the things are not going fine, then technology might also see a bad day. But
Mm-hmm.
then, talking about healthcare, I think healthcare is a sector which always have risen or have always boomed, right?
Yeah.
So healthcare sector will continue to grow. It grew in the 2020 pandemic time. So I
Yeah.
think it is definitely going to grow in 2025 as well. So, with high demand of nurses, medical assistants, and then other healthcare professionals. So it is definitely going to see a good time. And people who want to work in the healthcare can definitely apply for visas. I'm pretty sure it is going to be a good time for you. And then let's now talk about finance. Finances, I think finance institutions are looking for skilled professionals in, whether it's management, or whether it's accounting, or whether it's human resource. So finance is also something, because without finance, nothing can go
Nothing
right.
is going to happen.
So finance is something which is again going to boom if things go right in 2025, if the inflation and everything is taken care of. So finance will also be something which is definitely going to boom. And then, STEM. So STEM fields, most of the Indian immigrants, if you see, or if you talk about them, they apply. What they choose is the STEM fields, right?
Mm-hmm.
So STEM is a field, or is one area which is definitely going to grow, and especially for the immigrants, because whether it's mostly from India, but also from the other countries, STEM is one field which is chosen and which is opted by many students, many students. So this is one, because it's always a need, regardless of what time we are in, what year are we in. It always grows because it is the need of the hour. So I think then STEM is one field, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. The world can't do without these things, right? Without
Definitely.
these fields. So this is definitely going to be boomed in 2025. So, and people are also experiencing significant growth, offering opportunities in especially engineering, then research, and then development. So
Mm-hmm.
I definitely think that these sectors are going to see a good time, if not the start of 2025, then definitely from the mid of 2025, because I think that's when the Trump administration is going to settle
Yeah.
the immigrant problem, or at least the illegal immigrant problem. Because I'm pretty sure if Trump and his administration are going to join office in January, so it will at least take a couple of months for them to settle things down, and US might see a pretty chaotic time for those few months. But after some time, after 2025 reaches the mid, things are going to be settled, and then sectors, and then the job fields are going to see rise and going to see boom in their respective sectors, is what I feel. Over to you, Sam.
Yeah, but Rajni, I also think the same. I think, as Trump will come in the White House, then I think his first agenda will be definitely to have mass deportation. And he only mentioned that he is going to work on this area first. After that, he is going to change other sectors. So I think definitely he will firstly try to remove all the illegal immigrants, find out all the illegal immigrants, and then he will definitely work on that. And after a few months, when he's going to clear up all the outsiders from his country, after that, then he's going to propose the maybe the new rules or new opportunities. But meanwhile, I also think, Rajni, that if we talk about H1B visas right now, so there's also a huge crowd for H1B visas. Most of the Indian immigrants, they don't get H1B visas. They have to wait for a long, they have to, basically, there's a rush for H1B visas. And that too, it is also very difficult for US also to select those candidates, which one is better. So I think under Trump's era, it will also be a kind of more challenging too for H1B workers also, because now I think Trump is going to have a more stricter immigration rules. So also H1B workers, if we talk about them, then if now also under Biden's era also, they still didn't have the guarantee. If they are working well, they still don't have that guarantee, that they will be getting a permanent residency, or they will be continue with that company. There is some kind of doubt in that even though you're working so good, even though you're working fine enough, but still there won't be that benefits how the citizens over there gets, for H1B workers too. So I think this is a point that we all should understand, that this, I don't know what about Trump's era, whether this is going to change, or whether this is going to remain, or whether this is going to become worse. But it's only the thing that it's better to not just only know the knowledge of which sectors are important, that is also very important to understand, but that too to improve your skills, that too to improve your degree, to learn more different aspects of sectors, what are most important for America, what are most important for you to learn. Because I think Trump is not going to degrade America by losing the skilled workers. Doesn't matter if they are
Absolutely.
America, doesn't matter from which country, he's definitely going to take them. But it's just that he will be more selective. So yeah.
Absolutely. And Sam, as you already remember that, he said that he's going to give out the green cards to the skilled workers. Now
Right.
he's going to, he is very much against birthright citizenship, because if the
Hmm.
parents are undocumented, they don't have the documents to live in America, and then they are planning to deliver their babies in the US. And it is a rule out there that whoever delivers the baby in the country, they are tend to get the citizenship, right? But
Yeah.
he has become against that because this is actually sometimes frauds are also happening in this way. You know, people are they are undocumented, illegal ways. They're coming to the US, they are delivering their babies, and that's how the the baby gets the citizenship, right? And then after the baby gets the citizenship, the baby sponsors them, right?
Mhm.
So this also happens. So now he's very much against it, and he has said he's going to end that. I don't know how much possible it is for him to end it, but he's definitely going to do something about it. But then he is very much for giving green cards to the skilled workers. I mean, this is what he said. So
Right.
it's not whether you have proper documents or not. You need to have a good resume. If you have a really good resume, then you know you have the green light of Trump and his administration. You're going to get that green card, which you are waiting for, maybe waiting for years. So
Absolutely.
work on your skills and brush up your skills. And if you're talented enough, if you're skilled enough, then and if you add to the US's economy, then nobody can stop you from getting that green card. So yeah.
Exactly. And I think, it's also very important. Uh, See, you definitely have to be skilled enough, to work in the US. But overall, you can also have networks too, it's also very important to have a good network. That can also be a kind of strategy or a tip for you also to work in a good company. So I think immigrants should also expand their professional networks, through platforms like LinkedIn, and you can also attend different conferences to connect with US employers. I think that can
Absolutely.
also be the way, Rajni, to expand their contact and to also know how the process goes in US.
Absolutely.
Because until and unless you're not going to talk to them, you're not going to explore yourself. If you're just going in a, I mean, keeping yourself constricted in a room, just keep on working on your skills, I think that is also not a very smart thing. You should be flexible enough to understand everything, grab skills, grab knowledge, watch videos, attend immigration and jobs talk show sessions, and get yourself updated regarding everything that is important for you to get an H1B or to just settle in US. It's that's very important thing. So
Mhm.
yeah, and if we talk about industries also, then I think we should also talk about renewable energy and clean tech. So I think despite Trump's previous focus on traditional energy, I think the global shift to renewables is unstoppable. So the US might seek some energy independence through new technologies in solar, wind, and nuclear. And if we talk about opportunities for Indian immigrants in this sector, then I think there are different opportunities like engineers, project managers, and specialists in renewable energy technology that is definitely going to expect in growing demand. So I think many skilled immigrants from India are already employed in these sectors, but you can also opt for these. And I think this is also great sectors to work on. And this trend is definitely going to continue. So work on these and go ahead and look for more opportunities, look for more
Absolutely.
sectors.
Right, right. You know, Sam, I don't know whether I mean how beneficial it is for people to have the right set of friends. I'm sure it is beneficial for some of them, but I don't know how beneficial it is for like the most of them. So, you know, it's better to be in the right company, whether you have good friends or not, but always have the right kind of networks, always be in the right company. Like Sam said, join the conferences
Yeah.
and and connect to your kind of people on LinkedIn. That would help you to find a good job, or that would help you to find the right kind of opportunity, to have the right kind of network, and to have you connected with the right kind of people is very important. So don't look out for those good Instagram followers or for Facebook friends. They won't help you. It's better for you to go to LinkedIn, to send out some good connection request, and to join the conferences, talk to people, meet people, and make a network, make a good network, which would help you in your career. Because, if you're having a good career, those friends who might be ignoring you right now will come back and
Yeah.
will, right?
Of
So
course.
so yes, and I think somebody texted me on my WhatsApp and said, "Hi, I'm a software engineer with over 10 years of experience. I live in Nigeria." So I've asked them to join our show if they can, but
Oh, wow.
please let me know. Please let me know if please let me know your name, and also if you can please join the show. We would love for you to join the show. Um, so yes,
Yeah,
please.
please, please, guys. Yeah, we will literally have fun. And as you guys saw our last episode, it was 2 hours live show, and it was all just for you all. It was great having you all. There were so many people who joined us. I think 10 to 15 people were there online, who would just keep on calling, keep on joining. So it was great to have you all. And for today too, it will be so great and so wonderful to have you all. So, guys, go on, and you can also dial this number as it is showing on the screen. So go ahead, do WhatsApp call, or just simply go and text to that number. We will definitely love to have you all on our show. And yeah, that would be great, right? I think last year was
Absolutely.
very
Please,
good.
absolutely. Please dial this number
Yeah.
732 707 9151. I would like to repeat the number. Please dial the number 732. This is a US number. So if you're not in the US, you'll have to add +1. So make sure to add that. So the number is 732 707 9151. Dial this number and I can put you through speakerphone. And also, if you don't want to join through phone, you can also, we have the links. We give the links to you. It is going to be, I'm sure the control has already given it to you in the comment section. So make sure you join, you click on the link and join the episode. Please click on the link, join the episode, and we would love for you to join us and talk to us and make this show even more interesting and entertaining. Because, see, the show is actually designed for you guys to join and you guys to talk to us and let us know what you are going through or what problem you are facing, what field of job you want to be in, and what career are you going for, and what kind of immigration problem are you facing in the US or in the countries that you are living.
I think somebody has joined. Oh,
Oh,
hi.
okay. Somebody joined.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi,
Hi.
Hi.
How are you? May I please know your good
George.
name?
Okay, my name is George. How are you doing?
Hi, George. Good to meet you. How are you? We are doing good. And how are you? Are you joining us from Nigeria?
Yes, I am. I'm joining you guys from Nigeria.
Oh, wow, that's
Beautiful.
great. So,
Beautiful.
how is everything, George? Please go ahead and share your thoughts, what you would like to say.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, everything is fine. What I wanted to get familiar with is that can I be in Nigeria and then get a job in the US and pay, the taxes over there in the US without restrictions? Because from what you're saying, it's like it all boils down to you contribute to the American economy.
Mhm. So,
Mhm.
George, I
So,
think the remote jobs are
if
available. I
Trump
think so. If the company and if the employer is allowing remote jobs, I think it's definitely available. But then if it is work from office and if you have to
administration can
be there in
do it
the.
there. So,
Mhm. So, do
sorry.
you have like a US visa, or are you looking for a remote job? What kind of job are you looking for?
Exactly. So, remote jobs. So, instead of you requesting for visa and people flooding the US, right? Instead of doing
Mhm.
that, so my own opinion is they can loosen up a little, remove restrictions. Companies over there can, request for skilled professionals. If you pass the, let's say, test or whatsoever it is, right? Then
Mhm.
you get the job, and possibly they can get some tax identification number for you. You source. So before the company actually pays you, they do the tax deduction and then they pay you, right? So
Mhm.
we all don't have to come to US because you want to get a job, you want to get a tech job or whatsoever it is. So you can be in your country, you're contributing to the American economy, and you're also contributing to your country. So these are just my own submission, if it is possible.
Okay, I think what you're asking is if I think I would love for an attorney to answer your question. And tomorrow, George, we have a show with an attorney at 2 p.m. EST, so Eastern Time. So I'm going to share the link of that episode with you. And if you're available at 2 p.m., so I would love for you to ask this question, because if we give answers to your question, I think it will. I'm not sure how if you can actually use that advice, but if I think if an attorney can answer your question, that will be better. So I would request you to please join tomorrow's show. I will definitely, I'm definitely going to share the link with you to join that, and maybe we can put you through like this on the call, and you can directly ask the attorney, whatever query that you have, because she is going to
Okay,
answer. The topic of tomorrow's show, I would also like to tell you, it is actually about H2 visa guide, how to legally sponsor workers in the US and work as a temporary, seasonal temporary worker. So this is about
okay,
job and job opportunities.
okay.
So
Now,
yeah, we would love you to
the
join
thing.
tomorrow.
Oh yeah, I will join that tomorrow. Now, the thing here is this. Logically, if you look at the whole process, all right, the reason why you have, um, let's say, fraud, people coming to the country illegally,
I think there's some
every day.
technical or internet
Okay,
problem. George, I
so
think you're moving your
if
camera a lot. Maybe if you can
if
place
you
your camera in
have
a position.
flexible,
George, can you hear me?
Um, I think he's
George,
stuck
can you hear
right now.
me?
He's stuck right now.
He's stuck right now. Okay, I think, George, what you have to do, if you're watching to me, or if you're watching me, or if you're listening, if you're able to listen to me, I think what you're doing is you're holding your phone or your camera, and then you're moving and you're walking while holding your phone or your camera. So maybe if you can place it in a position where it is stable enough, then we can have a better conversation, because of this. Yeah, because of this, your internet is fluctuating a lot.
Yeah.
yeah. But
Yes.
did you get that?
Yeah.
Oh, he
Yeah.
said.
So maybe, George, if you can be in a position where you're stable enough, where your camera is stable enough, so that we can easily communicate, because you're moving while holding your phone. I think the
Okay,
internet is also, yeah.
Yeah. Now you start.
Now it's perfect. I think
okay.
let's
So
have. Mhm.
here comes the question, right? I said one of the reason why you have so many different immigration policies, right, that the America is creating, that the American government is creating, right, is because you have so many illegal immigrants who comes in because they just want to get jobs, they just want to get different things just to survive, right? So if the American government look, you look at a quarter of the jobs you have, right, and then you say, okay, 30% can actually go out there to anyone who is qualified without coming into the country, right? So if I know that I can be in Ghana or Nigeria or South Africa or any of the country, India, anywhere, I know I can be there and then I'll get a job. So the question comes, why should I come into the country legally? Okay. So it brings down it's, now what we're trying to say is instead of the government spending so much money, right, trying to crack down on illegal migrants into the country, right, you can actually look at some possible ways, okay, to reduce the amount of influx into your country. So when you create some sort of policies like this, you remove some sort of restrictions whereby instead of you coming in, just be where you are. We don't want you to come here. So you just be where you are. You can get 30% of the job in America. Believe me, nobody will want to come to America. So they know fully well that look, we get the taxes from the people, from source and all of those things. So you don't even have issues to deal with. So now they are contributing to the American government and then they're also contributing to their own government.
Mhm. Mhm. Wow, that's a great suggestion, George.
So
Yeah. Please go ahead.
so I think that is what, yeah. I think that is
You know,
what the Trump
honestly,
administration should be looking.
uh-huh. I think that's a great suggestion. I really wish, we are definitely going to spread the word out there, and we are definitely going to put your video and, maybe tag the US government, maybe if they can do something about it, because that's a great suggestion. But
Yeah.
I really wish and I really hope it was this easy to actually, to suggest the US, or not just the US, but to any government, and they would take an action to what we are suggesting. But that's a great suggestion what you have said. We are definitely with you, immigration and jobs talk show. We are definitely going to spread the word out there. And but George, currently, or what is your job? Which field are you working in?
Okay, currently I'm a software engineer, so
All right.
I have my own company here, so in Nigeria. I actually work for several companies, I've done a lot of applications for health insurance, local governments, payment systems. Okay, so fintech applications, some sort of banking solutions like Postman collections. You can check that out online actually. Postman collections. So the oil sector in Nigeria. So I actually, took part of the people who developed some of the softwares they're using currently. So
I think he's stuck again.
to the market, basically deployed. The language I use Java, I use C Sharp, I use Node, so I use, some good technological stuff.
Okay, okay,
Great.
that's great. That's great to know. I mean, also, so if given a chance, would you like to move to the US? Let's suppose, you get the job out there, you get the perfect opportunity for yourself. Then, would you like to move to the US, or would you like to, work from Nigeria and then contribute to their economy and also to your country's economy? Which one would you prefer?
What is perfect for me is contributing to both. If you get a remote job, right? Um, okay, let's take the analogy. Very simple and straightforward. Now, you move into the US, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, you are contributing to the US economy alone, right? Um, I'm not from the US. I am from Nigeria. So I want to be able to contribute to my country as well, right?
Right.
So um, if for me, personal preference, I would love to get the remote job, right? Contribute to the US economy and contribute to Nigeria's economy. So thereby I'm strengthening both countries. So I know a lot of people look at it as, oh, that's multi-taxation. But it's not really because take it or leave it. If you are in the US, you're going to definitely send some money back home to your siblings and all of those things. So are they going to pay taxes? Yes, they will have to pay taxes. So whether you like it or not, you're always going to pay the tax one way or the other. So it's better off where you get the remote job, you're in your country, you get paid in USD because you're working over there. They do their deduction. You come to Nigeria, you get your naira, you pay, your taxes here, and you're just moving on. So you don't have issues with any of this country. So if peradventure you want to go to US, they look at your profile when you submit. Maybe if they move ahead to use the suggestions, they look at, okay, do you work in the US before? And then you say yes. Okay, can I have your tax ID? You give them your tax ID. They look at it. Okay, yeah, he's good. So he's paying taxes, and we believe when he comes in, he's going to bring the same. So now that alone is going to reduce the amount of crime you have regarding the illegal migrants that you have over there.
Right, right. I think
Right.
that's a very great point, George, that you mentioned. And George, also, have you worked in US any time?
If I've what?
Have you worked in US any
Have
like?
you worked
Oh,
in the US? Yeah.
yes, I have worked with some private companies in the US,
Oh,
like Electronics. So I've actually worked with them. So you have to work with the EST time as I've done back then. So
Right.
I've actually some sort of private individual companies in the US.
Mhm. But definitely, George, what all you're mentioning here are, I mean, really, really
So I have.
interesting points. Yeah, what you're mentioning here are some of, the great points and really interesting points, and which, if implemented, I'm pretty sure it's going to be great for the immigrants and also for the country's economy, for US's economy, definitely. But with that, George, with now that Trump has won, firstly, were you expecting him to win?
Yes, I was because okay, now let's look at it this way. Trump is a great guy, he's a great business guy. So first of all, you don't need politicians to build your economy, right? What you need are businessmen to build your economy. So if you look at the Biden administration, it was a total flop. It was a disaster as far as I'm concerned. So if you look at the GDP growth of the America, it actually dropped because you have so many wrong policies coming from his administration, right? So now, um, Trump being a business person, I think the first thing he's going to do is to cut down taxes because one of the things that really chase away companies are the high rate of taxes you're asking them to pay, and with the COVID fiasco thing that actually happened, you have a lot of companies suffering from such because they have to close down at some point, and you're paying your staff salaries, and the money is not coming in because some sort of government let's say contract you actually had then was shut down because of the COVID, right? So now, Trump, believe me, if you go to my Twitter page, I actually advocated for Trump, um, for the re-election of Trump, because first of all, for every business person I've seen, they always like, looking at the business part of the government. Okay, when the tax is too much, not going to work, so you cut it off, right? Then we look at other things that will actually bring about the boosting in the economy um, with different policies. What actually runs the world is policies, not whatever you think you have. So if you have a good policy, you have good businesses. Okay, if you check the previous years, most of the jobs were taken away from America to China. Some jobs were even hiding because they don't want to pay taxes because the taxes were just too much, right? So now, if you're going to cut the tax, um, let's say, I was studying about the different tax levels in America. So you have like the LLC, the sole proprietorship, yeah, right? Companies who usually get, I think, the 1099, some sort of contract. Now, if they were paying, um, $3,000, okay, every year, and Trump administration comes and slash it down by 50%, and now they're paying $1,500. So you have a lot of LLC, a lot of companies, coming up, and because now it is cheap for you to pay some sort of taxes, so you have a lot of companies, a lot of jobs coming in, and then you also have a lot of workers. So at the end of the day, the economy is going to be balanced because the more people you have doing some sort of jobs, generating more income revenue to either the state or the federal level. So the more companies you have, the more profit you're going to have. So that is the way it is.
Right,
So
right.
Trump was just fantastic. So if you
Well,
look at
please go ahead.
the states Trump won this time around, you look at the city of Florida, you look at I think New Jersey, you look at Pennsylvania, you look at Georgia. These are states, majorly would have been won by the Democrat, right? But it didn't happen that way. So when you look at some of these things, it's an evidence that look, people were tired of the Biden's administration, and take it or leave it. Kamala Harris wins is still Biden's administration because they are all together. Biden has been sick. Kamala has been the one taking, the lead in terms of economic reforms, some sort of, let's say, health insurance policies, and some sort of policies always come from her. So you've seen that it's a total disaster. It's not working. So the American government, the states in general, they are tired. So they have been looking for a way to, just voice out whatever, they've been looking for. So, and the election, actually did a good job. So, and also thanks to Elon Musk, using the Twitter as a platform for protesting, that was fantastic.
Well, I'm not sure whether it's going to cut the taxes of the regular people, but I'm pretty sure it's definitely going to cut the taxes for, and make the tax relief at least for Elon Musk. So that is for sure.
No, no,
He's
no,
definitely
no.
going
You
to
see,
give him the relief. Yeah.
no, no, no. Look at it this way.
Yeah. I would like
Everything,
to. Yeah. Please go ahead.
everything that affects everything that will affect Elon Musk, right? He's a business person. Now,
Right.
you're not going to say, "Oh, Elon Musk, I'm going to give you a tax exemption." No, it's not going to happen. So, what is going to happen is, oh, companies, in this category, you get 50% slash down, right? So, you're not going to single Elon Musk out of it. It's never going to happen. So, the country is not going to be run based on Elon Musk's contribution to the success of his election. No, it's not going to happen that way. Like I said, Donald Trump is a smart guy. So, definitely he has oppositions who are going to come for him and say, oh, because Elon Musk does this and this, and then you're giving him tax down returns. No, that won't happen. So now it's going to, the business smartness is going to, look at, okay, instead of you paying, let's say 100% of your tax, right? We need you to pay 50%.
Yeah.
Okay. um the other percent should go for your staff, overheads. In Nigeria we call it overheads, so we call it overhead expenditure. So you can push that into your staff income, and you increase their income. Now when you increase your staff income, definitely the staff salary is going to be, their taxes is also going to increase, right? So you have to look at that mechanism. So for me, I'm telling you, Trump is a smart guy. He's going to slash it across board. So just watch out for it.
Wow. I mean, we would like
He's
to
so
take your word for it,
confident.
George. Yeah, we would definitely like to take your word for it. And if it happens in the future, we're definitely going to give you a call and ask you to join the show. And maybe that we also do these shows with astrologer where they predict, what's going to happen in the near future with immigrants and with their visas and with the job opportunities. So maybe the astrology show you can also join, because this is what you are predicting right now in our show, right? So we really hope that it happens, and it's going to be so good, not just for the Americans but also for the immigrants out there, right? But
Mhm.
but George, also I would like to know that Trump has always advocated buy American and high American, right? So do you think it is going to affect the immigrants?
No. Okay. I think if I
Let's
get
look
it
at it.
correctly,
Let's look at it your way. How you say it. Go ahead.
okay, the way I look at it, right? Trump is not a racist to start with. He's not a racist because he's telling you the truth. Um, you can have professors who are medical professors, right? Who are lecturers who are also professors in the universities and all of that, like in Texas and California. So you have a lot of professors who are Nigerians. You also have a lot of medical doctors who are Nigerians, right? Now, what Trump is saying is, you can't be building America, right, while you leave your own home country dying. Okay? So, what he's saying in essence is, you can fix your country and fix America. So, America is not some sort of a great safe haven for everyone. No, it's not. So the prospect of people looking at America as a safe haven is delusional. It's not just the only country in the world. So America is not just the only country blessed. Okay, so you have a lot of African countries who are blessed, but the problem is leadership, infrastructure development, right? Now, what makes America great is what you should be looking at. You bring in immigrants, right? They come develop your economy, they build your infrastructures, right? And tomorrow you see America is great. So he's telling you, why are you wasting your entirety building America when you have your own country you can build? Now, how do you build a country? You see, the America has one of the, I think, the most craziest policies. Um, because okay, I made a research about the Indiana state, right? The Indiana state, I think that was the 51 state or the 39 states were actually joined the United States. Now, Indiana state is supposed to be a standalone country on its own, just like Georgia, Florida, and the others, right? They come together and they have some certain policies. So, what works for um, New York doesn't work for Texas. It doesn't work for Indiana State, right?
Mm-hmm.
They have their
Mm-hmm.
own separate policies. So whatever policy Trump is going to come up with, the states still have a role to play. So
Right.
you have an independent state that determines what will happen to every person. Okay, let's take, I think, Texas or California, for instance, one of those two. I can't really remember, where I think marijuana is a crime, and for the other is actually not a crime. So if you're up to the age, you can actually take it and nothing happens. You're okay. You're free to go, right? But if you get to New York or if you get to DC or LA, you have issues with that because they have different rules, different proceedings, different courts rules, and what have you, right? So now, yes, Trump is the president, but he's also limited regarding the immigrant policies he's going to bring in. So the DAOs, they're going to look at it and say, oh, okay, what you're saying is not going to work because we have this policy that talks about this, and this. Now, if you come into the country legally, you have nothing to worry about, right?
Right.
Now, if
Mm-hmm.
you come to the country illegally, then you should look for a way to get your legal papers.
Mm-hmm.
You
Right.
should have to pay for it. So everything boils down to money. Everything boils down to you paying for something, certain things. So if I'm going to say, okay, I want to stay in the US, and one of the option that the government is saying is that for me to stay in the US with my family, I have in any of the states, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, what I'm going to look out for, I'm going to make my research. Okay, how much is the house in New York? Definitely is far expensive. How much is a house in New Jersey? Now, I have to start looking for houses where it is cheaper. Panama, you just mentioned some of those areas. You look at, okay, which of this area are the cheapest that I can stay or that I can afford? Now, if you
Mm-hmm.
get to buy a house in any of those areas, and then you get your green card, your residency permit, and all of those things, you can stay there and work. Nobody have issues with that. Yes, it's not always easy for you to come up with such huge amount of money, looking at the exchange rates regarding your country and that. So that is the reason why I am advocating for worldwide remote, okay, whereby they get the remote jobs, you pay your taxes, you live in your country. If you now want to move, okay, to America, you don't need to get second citizenship or whatsoever. You don't need it, okay. America doesn't need to give you that. All they need is just like the way you have, I think in the UK, you have your ESN, your social security number, yeah, your social security number. So if you have your tax in Nigeria, we call it NIN, so national identification number, or your TIN, okay, tax identification number. If you have your tax identification number, you don't need a second citizenship. All you need is, look, you're free to come stay in the US, right?
Mm-hmm.
All you just need to do is pay your taxes. That is all that
Right.
matters. Pay your taxes, because if you look at the government, the whole government in the whole world, they are not going to give you anything. They are not going to make you, rich. They just want to take out of you. So taken out of you is you paying taxes. It's everywhere. Just look at the whole analogy. So for people who are scared that Donald Trump winning is a total disaster for them, I don't think so. Because before he's going to come up with those policies, to take people out, it's going to take time. And definitely, the police are not going to be coming from house to house, knocking, asking if you're legal migrant or illegal migrant. That's not going to work. They don't have that time. They have tons of jobs to do. So you out there, you have to stay away from trouble. Get your documents legally if you wish to do that. I know for a fact now that if you're in America already, I think you could actually get, I think what they call I think is the tax identification number or something. I don't know what that is, but I think they can actually get that. So if they can get that, you get a remote job. The company you're working for can also file on your behalf if you're good. So they can file on your behalf and say, okay, we want this guy to stay. He's going to be working with us. The company can file and then they'll be taking it away from your salary. So they can do that. They can pay for it, and then they're taking it away from your salary. In as much as you're going to sign a contract with the company, an MOU that, oh, okay, I'm going to be here for 10 years, 5 years working with you, and you're going to be paying um, back whatever you spend for looking out for the documents for me to stay legally um, for quite some number of time. So I don't think anyone should be scared.
Absolutely. And I think it's a very great point, George, that you made right now about you also made us understand about working remotely. So I
Right.
think, working remotely, people usually take it as a shortcut. But I think if we are going to talk about this platform, like if someone wants to work in US from the different country, then I think this is the best way, you can work like, because it's also not very possible to go and pay taxes as you mentioned. So I think, George, these were very important and very good information, that you have shared with us right now.
Right, absolutely. And George, I think you have explained it as good as an attorney. So, right. So what you mentioned, the points that you mentioned, let me refresh my feed because my team is actually telling me that we are getting a lot of comments, but I don't know, for some reason, I'm not able to see them. Before I refresh my stream, George, I would like to come back to you again, and I would like to ask you, but don't you think sometimes, I know it is for the good of the immigrants that they are given the remote opportunity. But what about the work efficiency? Don't you think sometimes it also hampers the work efficiency of the people, and then the company is not satisfied, and the work is not done in time? Because you must have also seen that during around COVID, the each and every company completely moved remote and gave the remote works to their employees, but then it also hampered the efficiency of
Yeah.
the work quality and what the employers were delivering. So what would you like to say about this?
Okay, for the work efficiency, I think that's not 100% correct. From my perspective as a software engineer, what makes you an engineer is your ability to understand some certain basics and also um, proper solutions to problems, right? As part of it, the first step, right, for companies who look at the work efficiency, you're looking at, I think in Nigeria we call it prorata. So you have a pay time off, you have your paycheck, being done on an hourly basis in some instances. Like for instance, um, the university lecturers in Nigeria, currently the government is doing what they call prorata with them, which simply means when you work, you get paid, right? So when I have something, some sort of sprint for you for a week, right? If you finish up the sprint in 3 days, that's a problem. Okay, we've stated out some managerial processes. That's the reason why companies who wants to employ remote workers, they need to understand some key things. Number one, you need to have good structures. You don't just dive into software implementations, right? What you're supposed to do is okay. There are timelines for everything. Like one of the companies, I actually worked for, we have timelines. So we'll schedule out the timelines for next year, okay? Which is going to end by November 22nd, I presume, okay? We've structured our timelines, and each of those timelines we've said, okay, this module should be done this week. So you have people assigned for such tasks to be done this week. So when you conclude your task, right, you get paid for it. Do you understand? So when it comes to job efficiency, yes, let's say out of 100, I can tell you for a fact that 99, right, will get it correctly. The 1% that won't get it correctly are those who don't really want to pay, for managers, for let's say the BAs, the we call them PMOs, project managers. Okay, um, business developers and all of those stuff. So when you have some sort of structures of that, right, your time efficiency is going to be fantastic because nobody wants to work without getting paid. Keep that in mind, especially people I've worked with, people from India, people from Nigeria, and I also think some sort of people from I think Pakistan or South. I've actually worked with them. When it comes to the world of tech, these three guys I have mentioned, I've worked with them. So they love to work with time. In fact, give us extra time, overtime. We're in for it. We're in to get it because um, we want to be paid based on what we've done, not based on assumption. Okay. Yes, I know. You have few number of people. Um, Again, no offense to the Americans or the British, right? No offense. Um, some of them they have this possibly because they get some sort of government benefits, so they they don't want to be active in the job. So that is why they are complaining about um, what you just pointed out. Okay, so if you look at the number of people companies do complain about, they are not the migrants, right? They are not the those who are hungry to get the job done. So they are the people who get some sort of benefit from the government, and they're like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna you know waste time on this, and you're not complaining about job efficiency and all of those things. So when every one of them know that, okay, um, again, I said no offense. When every one of them know that, this some sort of benefit is going to be cut off, they're going to sit up because you have too many benefits in America, too many benefits in the EU regions, and their citizens, some sort of just feel too comfortable and they're not active when it comes to remote.
Okay. Okay. I mean, if
Yeah.
that's what you say, and if that's what you think, I definitely think then there must be some there must be some point, and there must be something that that the companies who are looking completely who don't want to hire remote workers will think about with what all you have mentioned. So thank you so much again for those great points. But George, we are also talking about in today's show. We are also talking about the what all industries and what all sectors are going to boom in 2025 now that Trump and his administration is back. So, which sectors and which field do you think or do you see flourishing in 2025?
Okay, I think I for one, I first the tech sector, that the fintech tech sectors are going to, 100%. Then secondly, you're going to look at the oil sector as well. That's the crude oil. So they're also going to come up, in stronger weight, because I think and I believe that Trump is going to step in between the Russia and the Ukraine crisis, and is going to call
Mm-hmm.
it off. And then you also have the Israel and the Hamas and the Gaza issue. I know for a fact that Trump is a good friend to some of these guys, and is going to put a stop to them because he did that before. So uh, I expect much from looking at the treaties between some of these countries, right? That's one. Then outside the oil sector, you also have, I think, the health sector. I think they need to be checkmated. I think there's some sort of too many um, not checking in the sense that, like the pharmaceutical, for instance, they need to be put under the law, not above the law, because it seems like in Biden's administration, they were always above the law. So I think the Trump administration should look at putting them under the law, not above the law. That's one for me, the pharmaceuticals, especially. Then when it comes to, um, let's say, the legal path, I think they already have some jobs, to work with. So basically, the tech, is 100%. The oil, I think they're going to come up, 60%. Also, if you look at the healthcare industry, well, they might come up, 50%. I'm not sure about that because they've done so many things wrongly during the Biden's administration. Then you also have the financial institutions. Um, I think for a fact, I think Bitcoin is going to um, shake the Wall Street at this point because um, it's going to be used, more often. But I think the Trump administration should look at ways of controlling it and also making it a legal, some sort of exchange currency within.
I mean, he did endorse it. I mean, he was completely against. Trump was completely against it, but he did endorse it, right?
Yeah. Now the reason is
So
this.
I
You
think he
know,
might do it. Hmm.
Yeah, if you don't have an understanding of Bitcoin from the onset, because the way it was going, you have some sort of financial expert who came from the Wall Street, and they were, strongly advising him against the Bitcoin because they also want to take control of what they have, regarding their stock market and you know, some sort of exchange they do within the Wall Street. Now,
Right.
um, if Bitcoin comes in, it's going to, cripple whatever they have. So if you check what is going on today in America, Wall Street determines the market price all over the world. So which is, completely wrong, in a way, because every country have, their own rule, their own way to play about this. So if you have the Bitcoin and from some sort of easy free flow for transactions, for payment and all of those things, so you have more people coming out from the hideout. Okay, so that is it for me. And then the other thing I think the banks should start looking at is how to you know incorporate themselves into the blockchain technology. Looking at the way the world is going, so they have to look at that. If not, they're going to, like the JP Morgans, they're just going to run out. If the Bitcoin is going to run for 4 years in Trump administration. Believe me, the
I think
banks
it
are
will.
going.
It might,
So
because I think not just Trump. I mean, earlier in the past he has criticized it, but now then after that he endorsed it, and then now that
yes,
Elon Musk is in his administration, I
yeah.
think they
Now,
are
now the
definitely going
reason
to,
why
right. They're definitely
I,
going to do
I
something
believe,
about it.
yeah, I believe the reason why Trump actually endorsed it, right? It's simple. Like I said, he's a business guy. He
Mm,
has gone to make his research outside of the advices he was getting from his first administration, from the people in the Downing Street or the Wall Street, as the case may be, giving him some sort of financial advice, right? So he
mhm,
has gone to make his research, and then he's realizing that, look, um, Bitcoin is not bad at all. The blockchain technology is not bad at all. But how can we control it? That should be the next thing you should be looking at. So it's not about implementation, it's also about control. Because you should control some sort of transactions, because if you don't control it, then it's going to cause some certain issues in the long run. So what you should be looking at is, how do we control it? That is a big question. So whether you
mm,
like it or not, there is no way you're going to stop it, because people are getting used to it already. So it's either you join them or you just
mhm.
leave it. So you
Yeah.
can fight it. So it's a world market. It's not a state market, or it's
Mhm,
not a country's market. It's a world market. So that is what he has looked out for. Then looking at his administration again, I think the people who are going to go into the hideout, which is 100% for me,
mhm.
was the introduction into the schools of telling them transgender is okay. Again, I'm not against. Um, I'm against it, but I'm not against it. Now, what I mean is this: God created male and female, not male and male. So you telling the child that it's okay, you telling a male child that it's okay for you to become a female is completely wrong, because whatever you imbue in them now, because their mind is still very young, so that is what they go with. So I'm completely against the Biden's administration, pushing teachers,
The
because
pronouns.
to I happen to watch some documentaries where um, teachers are
Mhm.
telling minors that it's okay for you to be a girl when they're guys, and it's okay for the guys, for the girls to be a guy. So you're telling them at this stage, when they don't even know what is wrong or right? Now you've
Mhm.
turn the whole um, country into a disaster. That is one of the reasons why I said, let um, you know Trump administration look at opening this wide variety of range of jobs for people, because I can tell you for a fact that a lot of migrants who came into America are regretting it, because the government schools, right? It became a law that they have to teach them some of these things, and it was totally
Yeah.
wrong. Okay, so
Yeah.
that for me, I think they are going to go on a hideout. So I think that's one of the issues. Then if you look at Anthony Fauci and Bill Gates, looking at the pharmaceutical issues, I think they are going to go in for it. From my own perspective, looking at Trump's, coming in for them, because they lied to every one of us, creating the COVID virus, and trying to make it look as though it's a natural disaster or it's a natural pandemic, which is not. Um, you know, Also, if you look at when Pastor
I
Chris,
mean,
Yakilo,
George, honestly, you out here are saying no offense. You're contesting, if you're mentioning your views, you're also, still you're mentioning that no offense, no offense. But if you hear Gates, then he doesn't hold back. He just goes out there and says, be offended. right?
Yeah, now again, you see that's the reason. We are all different, okay? People look at it from a different perspective. Now, why I use the word no offense, right? It's simple. You getting offended is your business, okay? I use no offense because some people who were deceived, okay, into some sort of life they're living now, right? They were deceived. So I don't want them to get offended. Those are the people I, literally address no offense to.
Absolutely.
So if you want to take it personal, suit yourself. That is your business. I don't care about it. So, but why you look at some of the issues again regarding the immigration policy thing, which I think people should don't to don't be too hasty to run out of America, right? Is that if you are not from, let's say, if you're not causing trouble, let me use that word. If you're not causing trouble, right, in regions like America, I don't think you should be scared. So the people who cause trouble, like let's say the people from, not all, some people from like Gaza, Hamas, who are actually, causing some of the chaos you have now over there, right? They are the ones, Trump is, really looking out for, watching out for, if
Yeah,
you look at his administration. And
as he
also,
should.
if you yeah. So if you also look at Nigeria, for instance, if you have been seen associating with the members of the Boko Haram, definitely America is a no-no for you because Trump is going to come all out for you because if you can do that in Nigeria, you can do it anywhere else. So crime is crime. There is no
Absolutely.
no no exception for it. So I think those are the kind of people he's looking out for. And then again, if you look at the migrant policies currently, they are not really fantastic because for me, I think the Biden's administration was just looking at winning elections, and then they, just open the border, you apply for your green card, you get green card because they wanted you to vote for them. And, voila, it turns out, as a fraud for them because things doesn't work that way. If you're going to give me, um, let's say, a green card today to come to America, the first thing is, do I merit it? Why are you giving me? So that is the first question. Genuinely, I will ask you that. Why are you giving me? So, are you giving me because of your own personal intention or agenda that you're going to, use later? So, for me, I think Trump coming out this way and is coming out clean is better for me because he's not a politician, so he doesn't know how to do politics. So he's a business guy. So what he's looking at for is, I'm going to do this, and that is what he's going to do. So everyone is going to watch out for Trump and say, okay, he said he's going to do this during his campaign, and he's doing that already, right? So it's not like the politicians who tell you, oh, I'm going to give you a green card, and you're all going to come in, just plug yourself into the country, and the next day they're calling on the state police, or they're calling the DAO or the whosoever they are, the FBI, to deport you back to your country without no penny. So that again, it's political fraud. So I think people should be aware that, look, the Biden's administration, I'm not saying is was a complete disaster when it comes to immigration, right? But I'm telling you that at some point, if you're going to let them be, they're going to also come back for you and say, look, we're going to use you as, just our guinea pigs. So that is what they're doing. They're all politicians. They do it everywhere. In Nigeria, the politicians do it. Over there, they do it. So they are all the same. They are not sent. So they're all the same. So that is it.
Yeah, absolutely. Where Trump might not sound politically correct and the Democrats might sound politically correct, does not mean that Trump is going to be completely harmful for the country, and the Democrats are going to be completely beneficial for the country, right?
Yeah.
So those are some great points that you mentioned, George. George, but you're looking to the US from an outside person's perspective, right? So,
Hmm.
so I would also like to ask you. I mean, this is more of an immigrant question. So, because you are a person from, from some other country who's looking at the US and the market and the politics and the business and everything. So, why do you think, this time around? Because mostly, if you see when Barack Obama was there, or when Joe Biden won. So mostly I think all the immigrants, if not around Biden's winning, but when President Obama was there, I think that time around, I think 90% of the immigrants voted for the Democrats, right? Voted for Barack Obama. But around this time, most of the Latino voters, or Indian immigrants, or African American, or the Black communities, everybody voted, like, not everybody, but the most number of percentage, they voted for
Majority.
um, President Trump or the Republicans. Why do you think that happened?
Okay. Now look at it this way. Barack Obama, right? Again, was a failed failed Black American president. Okay. The reason is this. My perspective. Um, when you implement something that goes against the law, for instance, um, gayism or transgenderism was never in the open space until Barack Obama passed it into law, right? Now, America destruction or America downfall started happening when the endorsement of gays, transgender, homosexual, and all of those things, people of color, was introduced. Okay. Now, what kills a country, right? Number one is such policies. Such policies kills such countries. Now, what happens to the Donald Trump administration for first tenure, right? His first term. If you look at it closely, Trump was completely against them, right? And there was no school where they were preaching to minors about gays, about transgender, that it is okay. No school does that, right? Now, when it goes to the Biden's administration, they started preaching to minors about that. Now, first of all, you need to understand this psychologically, right? The parents, they are disturbed because I'm born a male, I have a wife, and you're telling me it's not okay for me to have a female woman in my house as a wife. You're telling me it's okay for me to have a man. And the American entire constitution was built on Bible. Number one was built on Bible, and you're going against the law which created America. Okay, that is number one. Now, they've tested Biden's administration. They've seen that it was a total disaster going with Biden's administration. Looking at the policies that came in regarding the health sector, regarding the pharmaceutical industry, regarding the schools. Okay, you're looking at those policies now. No parent, no parent. I repeat, no parent likes the fact that you see your child, your beautiful baby, go in the wrong direction. Wrong direction, I mean, becoming a gay, become a transgender, saying he or she doesn't like being a male or a female. Okay, that alone was a red flag for anyone in their right thinking senses. Okay, now look at it. That was why I stated it clearly. If you look at, I don't think Trump has ever won Pennsylvania. I don't think he has ever won Georgia. He has never won Florida. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even think so. So he has never won any of these places, right? Now, because you have right thinking people there who are seeing this as a total disaster for them. Now it is time for them to get rid of these guys who are trying to, infiltrate into the life of their young ones and turn it, around for them. Now, if you listen to Trump while he was campaigning, I think I still have some of those videos on my system. He he was being straightforward, right? First of all, they've told you not to preach about Jesus Christ again, right? That alone
Yeah.
was a red flag. That
Yeah.
alone was a red flag for any Christian who lives in America, knowing fully well that America was built on Christianity, right?
Yeah.
Now, they've also told you that they've introduced a new curriculum in the system where they are teaching your children that gay is okay, transgender is okay. And if you also look at the story of Elon Musk, where I think his son, right,
Yeah.
died of, the transgender issue, right? That alone has caused, serious emotional issues for him and, some other people who are not as wealthy as Elon Musk is, has gone through some sort of things like that without coming to the public to declare that. Okay. That alone was a total disaster for America. So now, seeing someone who is as bold, as Donald Trump, right? First of all, he's bold, he's fearless. Okay. He believes in the Bible first. So these are the three things he needs to win America. And that is what the people looked out for. And that is the reason why. Forget about the military or the veteran who will tell you, oh, they're okay with the Biden's administration. No, they're never okay with it. Go and ask them properly, they will tell you they are not okay with it. The one of the person who I think I've had an opportunity to talk with while he was working with the U.S. In Nigeria, we have a U.S. Aid, so USAID. Okay, so we call it USA. So while I was talking to him, and he made mention of something, he said, "Look, um, America is not Nigeria, and Nigeria is not America, right? So what works for America doesn't work here in Nigeria. But I can tell you for a fact that Nigeria is far better than America the way America is going. But if Donald Trump should comes back, right, I'm going to vote for him because I want America to get back on its feet." That was what he said. Now, why is he saying this? It is not about the development. It is about what keeps America has now been
The
disvalued.
principles, the values. Yeah.
So now the values, have been reduced to nothing. So these are some of the issues, people are not watching out for. So that is one of the reason why, you know, um, Donald Trump, swept it all out. Okay, he swept all out the vote in every
Yeah.
state. If you check, I think I saw on news, I think yesterday or 3 days ago, where the Florida, I think someone in Florida was complaining. I think the disaster management or so. She was actually complaining that the Biden's administration are, I think, either fighting the citizens or some sort of restricting the relief materials for the hurricane that happened due to the fact that um, Donald Trump actually won Florida. Okay, so they voted Donald Trump. Some sort of things
Yeah,
like
she
that. Now
challenged. Yeah.
you see, so now it becomes a political impediment when Joe Biden's administration is trying to use some sort of relief materials, okay, as a pay relief tool for not winning the election over there in Florida. So that alone was, something I think when you know Donald Trump comes in is going to look at, and possibly I think that is where I think I still have issues with the DAO, because when some of these things are going on, I think they should step in, because the justices, the Supreme Court, should have also step in and say, look, this shouldn't happen. These are relief materials, not political, affiliated in any ways. So again, like I said, they are all politicians. It happens here in Nigeria a lot, so they know what they're doing. So that's the reason why we keep saying vote in the business guys who are knowledgeable, who are sensible, like Donald Trump.
Right.
They get your country working. Yeah.
Absolutely, because I think it was the Democrats' time when President Obama was actually the president at the time, and when then I think Donald Trump came in to
Mm-hmm.
run for the presidency, and then because President Obama's term was over, so they had to pick and choose some other candidates. So that's when they chose Hillary Clinton, right? And
Mm-hmm.
if the Americans were so happy and were so satisfied with what Barack Obama was doing, they would have not picked President Trump as their president, right? They would have picked Hillary Clinton,
Yeah.
but they didn't do that. So I'm pretty sure. Yeah, yeah. You mentioned actually some great points. You know what actually went wrong, and while talking about those issues, those pronouns and transgender issues, even if we talk about the reproduction chapter that we read in our classes, I think that is also taught to the children's only when they reach a certain age, only when they reach a certain class, only that's
Mm-hmm.
when that chapter is open to the students or to the children's, not to the
Yeah.
minors, right?
Yeah.
So if you're
Yes.
opening
No.
these issues and these things to the minors, and you're informing these kind of things to the minors, it is definitely affecting their minds, and um, yeah.
Ruin their future, basically.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, it
Correct.
definitely is going to have some impact. I'm not, we can't say that every minor is going to be affected by that, because I'm sure that there must be good parents who are informing good things good things to them. But I'm pretty sure, there are a lot of children who are getting affected by it. And then who are becoming
Now.
delusional, and who are thinking whether are they born in the right gender, or should they go ahead and change their gender because they don't feel right in the gender that they have
Mhm.
been born in.
Yeah.
So
Now, okay. If you look at it this way, sorry. If you look at it this way,
yeah.
if you have 80%, 80% of the schools teaching minor about transgender, then you don't have a country. Okay? Because 80% of the schools teaching such, then the entire country is teaching it. Okay? Because whatever you put in today is what you're going to get. So in the tech world, we say what you see is what you get. So whatever you give them is what you're going to get
Yeah.
back in return. So um, and if you look at um, Barack Obama's administration, right? Like you pointed out, the first term was not was not used to propagate gayism or transgenderism or whatsoever
Yeah.
it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was in his second term, okay? When he did that, the American people frowned at it, but they both, had to come all out and voted Donald Trump, though it wasn't, that much because, first of all, America also wasn't ripe for a female president. Okay,
Yeah.
America
Yeah.
does not want a female president, so that's what a lot of people don't know. America don't want that currently with the way they are. They don't want it. Now, Hillary Clinton came in and they threw her off, under the box because she's not going to amount to anything. So now they voted Donald Trump in. Okay. Now Donald Trump came in, made a lot of reforms. In fact, when Donald Trump came in, right, the first thing he did, I think that was the first day in the office, was to take down, I think, the transgender national item or their coat of color, whatever, away from his office. He removed it from the White House, right? Because he doesn't want that. Okay, it's against his rule or his policy and all of those things, which was perfect. Okay, now America, as at the first tenure of Donald Trump, you know, didn't understand what was going on, especially when the COVID came and Donald Trump was fighting Anthony Fauci and Bill Gates, and because of so many aids that people were getting, okay, they don't want to believe, what Donald Trump was saying, right? So they moved on and looked at Joe Biden and voted Joe Biden and said, okay, yeah, he was with Obama, so he was the vice president, so he had some sort of experience to, help, rectify whatever was going on and all of those things. Now, it turned out that that was the worst nightmare, right? And then now the Americans have said, "Oh, okay, we just realized that look, this change wasn't good, right?" So Biden on his own can't move forward because definitely he's sick. He's definitely sick. So now he's bringing in his own vice, who happens to be another female, right? So she's a female and she's projecting, or yeah, she's projecting and protecting what is wrong. So first of all, the war between the Ukraine and the Russia was totally wrong. Okay,
Yeah.
NATO instigated that via America. So why are you doing that? So the first question is, um, if Nigeria, for instance, is going to bring their warship to Solomon Island, will America allow that? The question is no. America won't allow that. If Nigeria is going to say, okay, I have formed an ally with Mexico. I'm going to bring in my warship into Mexico. I'm going to bring in, some sort of armor tanks and all of that into Mexico. Do you think America is going to allow? They will bomb the whole of, you know, that country. They won't allow it. So,
Yeah.
same thing happens between the Russia and the Ukraine crisis. Now, why are you pushing the NATO forward? Why are you saying you're not part of the NATO? Why are you pushing them forward? If you don't form this thing, because a lot of countries look at America as, the big brother, you know, come in, settle our issues, we give you kudos for it, right? Now, for you to try to some sort of bring down other countries just for your own selfish gains or interest, that for me was a total mess. So I'm going to take India, for instance. Um, I think the last time I checked, the population for India was, I think, about 1.2 billion or 5 billion thereabouts. So um, now, if you look at um, um, the country close to it, I'm trying to remember.
China,
Um, no, not China.
Bangladesh,
Bangladesh.
Pakistan. Yeah.
Bangladesh, right? Very close to India. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's say um, Russia comes in and say, okay, you know what? I have formed an ally with Bangladesh, so I'm going to be keeping my weapons. Or China comes in there and say, okay, I'm going to be keeping my weapons there. Do you think the Indian government is going to allow that? They won't try it because, first of all, um, you are a sovereign nation on your own. These guys, they are also sovereign nation, but they are my neighbors, right? Security first before anything else, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you look at Sri Lanka, okay, which I was also trying to remember, they won't also allow that because they are too close, right? India wants to, do some sort of technology. They want to do some certain things. They are scared because, first of all, if we're going to carry out some certain deals and protection policies we do share with our neighbors, right? Whether you like it or not. Bangladesh come to India, they get jobs, and definitely they are going to be working, one way or the other within the system. So nobody wants that. So they won't try it. So the same thing just happens between NATO trying to, cover up the nonsense they're doing with using Ukraine as guinea pig, okay, for their testing ground with Russia. So that alone was a total disaster. Now, what is Trump administration bringing in for settlement? Now, the first thing is this: if you notice, I think that was yesterday. I saw on my timeline where Biden's administration gave an approval for Ukraine to use, I think, the rocket launcher to fight back at Russia, right? Um, this is almost coming to the end of his administration. That is when he's giving that approval. Ever since he didn't give that approval, okay, that alone has, issued a red flag already. Why are you doing that now? Why not since? Okay, because you're about to hand over by January, which is just, a month away from now, to President Trump. So you're trying to escalate, okay, the war to something else. Okay, so I know for a fact that Donald Trump coming in is going to call the two presidents to order, invite them to some sort of certain round table, and then they are going to have a discussion. You are a sovereign nation. You are not going to join the NATO because you don't need it. Okay. Um, Russia, on the other hand, you have to stay away. Okay, let them be. And definitely they're going to sort out themselves. You understand? Whether you like it or not, they've been together for years. So they in Nigeria we call them brothers. Okay? They are brothers whether you like it or not. So they're just, brothers from maybe the same father and different mother, or the same mother and, different father. So that actually happens. So that is what is happening between the Ukraine and, the Russian crisis. Now, on the second thought, okay, I think the Ukraine president, no offense, wasn't, smart enough to know what NATO is trying to do with him. Okay, putting his country in a total disarray was not a good idea from my own point of view. Okay, and then on the other hand, I think Russia was, sometimes you just need to be aggressive, but was, some sort of too aggressive, looking at the bombardment, that's going on. So I think that's basically it.
Wow. I mean, honestly, this was we were only about to talk. We were planning just to talk about what sectors are going to boom in under Trump's 2.2, and what all sectors are going to be helpful for the immigrants in 2025. But the turns that our conversation took actually in today's episode, George, was so deep, so diverse, and so insightful and impactful. So, firstly, thank you so much for joining our today's show.
Really. It was great, it
Yeah.
was so great to hear different perspectives. So thank you so much, George. You were outstanding.
You were beyond outstanding, I would say, George, because we only thought of talking about immigrants and the job fields and job sectors, but the way we talked about what all did we talk about? We talked about the Democrats from President Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, then we took to Kamala Harris, then we took to Joe Biden, and then we covered Trump's 2017 to 2021 era, his first term, and then we also talked about the tax implications and how it is going to benefit not just the US but also people outside the US if they are given, and if they are given the remote opportunities, and Nigerian economics, right? We also talked about that. So there was so many things, and just now we talked about India, Bangladesh, China, so much. So I really hope that you join our everyday episode, George. If you get a chance and
Okay,
if you have some time, so please make sure that you join us every day so that we can have these insightful conversations.
no problem. Yeah, I'm available.
Yes,
I'll
and
join.
I'm definitely going to send you the link for tomorrow's show, where maybe whatever questions that you have, that you can, ask it from the attorney. And she's going to be
Okay.
available at 2 p.m. Eastern time. So make sure that you join at the time, and whatever question that you have around, regarding work fields or work sector. So, I think she'll be the best person to help you with an answer.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. But thank you
Thank you,
so much,
George.
Josh, for joining us. It was lovely having you. And we are definitely going to post a lot of videos from what you said, and we are going to spread the word out there so that it reaches, maybe it reaches Trump's administration and they can do something about it. And yes, we are definitely going to spread the word. So thank you so much for being here, and hoping to see you soon.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, George. Bye bye. Have a
Yeah,
great
you have a
day.
great day.
That's okay.
Wow. What an
Really.
episode, right, Sam?
I swear. But it's so great to have you guys, and it's so great to, because see, if we both are only talking, we will talk about our perspectives only. So it's so great to hear their perspectives also, and that too around the world, how Nigerian people are feeling about US, how different world people are feeling about there. So I think it's really a great opportunity for everyone to join us and to share their thoughts, whatever feelings, whatever thoughts, whatever point of view you guys have, just go ahead and join our today's episode. Not today, like everyday episode.
Every day
Yeah.
immigration dose episode, and we are going to be here from, we are definitely going to be here. We plan to do the show for an hour, but if you join us, we can extend it for more than 2 hours, like we did today. So make sure you join us. We are going to be here to hear you out, to listen to you, what all you have to say. And yes, thank you so much. And okay, I think we are getting some news here which says Nigerians have problems sending money to London, sending money to Europe. They have restrictions imposed on them. Well, there are a lot of things to talk about. Maybe we can talk about this in tomorrow's episode, because we can talk about these restrictions too with George and with the attorney. Yeah, so we are going to do this, and but for now, I think we'll have to take your leave. So, Sam, do you have an ending note or wrap up note?
Yeah, I would just like to say that, guys, if you are looking for the future of job opportunities in US, so I think it will include both the challenges and the opportunities. And if we talk especially about Indian immigrants, then I think it will also lead some great opportunities, but with some challenges. So be ready with it. Good luck, all the very best to all of you, and just keep on joining our episodes. Then definitely, you're definitely going to keep yourself updated with every immigration news and all the incidents that is happening around the world related to immigration. So I think just yeah, keep on like, share, and subscribe to Immigration and Jobs Talk Show as soon as possible. And we are here definitely to take all your questions, to take all your topics as we come live with attorneys too, and as we come live for you all also at 4 p.m. EST. So yeah, just go ahead and join us.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely, guys, and we are here to uncover everything, whatever that is going in the world, whether it is a news which is out there, or whether it is something which is hidden and which is not out there, which people think. And also we can talk about those conspiracy theories out there which are posted by people, which you might think is true and which might actually be true, but it is not posted there. It is not out there in the news media outlets, or is not for people's knowledge. It's not out there for people's knowledge, so we can also cover that. So whatever that you have to say, whatever that you think, maybe it's a conspiracy theory, or maybe that you think is something that people should know about because the media doesn't talk about it, we can definitely cover that in our daily immigration dose. So make sure that you subscribe to our channel, and make sure that you give us a call on this number, which is 732-707-9151, and join us. And we are always going to, post the links in the comment section to, in all the platforms that we are streamed live in, whether it is YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter. So from whatever platform that you join us, make sure that you click on the link and join Daily Immigration Dose to speak with us, and also to speak with our audiences. But for now, me and Sam, we both will have to take your leave, because we are going to see you very soon tomorrow. I'm going to see you tomorrow at maybe 2 p.m. And but Yes, but me and Sam together are going to see you tomorrow at 4 p.m. on Daily
Yeah.
Immigration Dose. So for now, please take care, please be safe, and stay tuned with Immigration and Jobs Talk Show. Don't forget to subscribe to Immigration and Jobs Talk Show. I'm Rajni Bharara,
And I'm Sam, signing off.
signing off for now. Bye.
See you guys. Thank you so much.